Here with more, Ed Whalen and Thomas Dupree. Gentlemen, good evening to both of you.
Good evening.
Good evening, Sandra.
Ed, care to share any of those stories? I mean, the Wall Street Journal just did a piece, Justice Scalia's Legacy of Laughs, and in a Boston University law professor, he ranked justices according to the laughter that they elicited in oral arguments, and it concluded that Justice Scalia won the competition by a landslide.
Well, he had so many wonderful qualities, from his deep faith to his pervasive sense of joy to a certain mischief. He was a delight to be around. He, of course, worked us clerks hard, and it was very intimidating to give him our work product, but we were always amazed to see how he would refashion it to make it distinctively his own. Such a good man, and you know, he appreciated the good qualities in other people. We know of his famous friendships with people who did not share his ideology. He believed so much in the vigorous argument that he was happy to have as friends people who didn't agree with him, and he appreciated the good qualities that they had nonetheless. Just a wonderful man to be around.
Thomas, how will you remember him?
Well, I remember him in preparing for arguments in the Supreme Court. You always had to be ready for the questions from Justice Scalia because he could cut you to the quick. As Ed said, he's just a man of immense intelligence and just an absolutely wonderful, delightful temperament. He was a true intellectual force. He was transformative on the court, both through the power of his written opinions, which were beautiful, but also behind the scenes in terms of the rigor of his analysis and the way that he saw the law. He truly understood that when judges deviate from the text of the Constitution or from the text of our laws, that's very dangerous. It's an opportunity for mischief because it enables the judges to basically write their own political preferences into the law. He was very cautious about that.
Ed, what do you think his legacy will be?
I think that so long as future generations of lawyers and law students are reading Supreme Court opinions, they will savor Justice Scalia's opinions, including his dissents. Of course, his dissents are some of the most colorful, delightful reading you'll find. And I think what's remarkable is you look back to his second year on the court, his wonderful solo dissent in Morrison versus Olson, the independent counsel statute, where he said, this wolf comes as a wolf. That opinion now is widely regarded across the ideological spectrum as wise and right. And I think that when we get past the political hot buttons of the day, people will recognize that the deeper wisdom embedded in so many of his dissents.
Thomas, as we listen to everything that you two have to say about him tonight, both on a personal and a professional basis, you wonder what the process to replace him is going to look like.
Well, first of all, he's irreplaceable. I think pretty much everyone would agree with that. And it will be interesting to see what happens. Certainly the president was very aggressive, surprisingly aggressive, in coming out within hours of the news saying that he was determined to appoint a successor and get him or her on the bench as soon as possible. I think right now, frankly, it's a gut check for the Senate. We'll see if the president follows through with what he's promised. We'll see if the Senate permits that nominee to move forward to a hearing and through a vote. But it's certainly going to be very interesting times over the next few months.
All right, so Ed and Thomas, thank you both for joining us tonight and sharing your stories.
Thank you.
Thank you.